Welcome to MyUpchar. Today we have with us Dr. Sandeep Buddhiraja. He is the Group Medical Director at Max Healthcare. Welcome to MyUpchar, Dr. Buddhiraja.
Thank you.
So with Dr. Buddhiraja, we'll discuss all the practical concerns about COVID vaccines, all the various questions that we have. So the first question, does everyone need a vaccine? What about those who've already had COVID?
So ideally, as many people take it, it will be beneficial for an individual and for the country as large. Because the principle behind taking these vaccinations is that we want to create a herd immunity, and herd immunity gets created if at least 70% of the population has either had a vaccine or a natural infection, and that is then known to break the cycle of transmission of virus and ultimately bring an end to pandemic. So by that logic, as many people who are eligible to be taking vaccine should get it. Second part of your question was people who have recovered from COVID, are they also to be taking vaccines? Answer to that is yes. They should also take vaccine, although they will not be in the first priority, because by virtue of having had a natural infection, they are immune or protected against COVID for some time. Now, we really don't know how long that immunity will last. So ideally, yes, people who have had COVID infection also should take a COVID vaccine, although there is no urgency for them to take it immediately as phase 1. But before their immunity dwindles in the coming few weeks, they should definitely take the vaccine.
For the vaccines that have been approved in India, do we have sufficient proof of their effectiveness and safety? Are there any known side effects?
So right now, as you know, the Drug Controller General of India has approved 2 vaccines. One is the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, which is in India being manufactured by the Serum Institute of India, which is called Covishield. And the other, which has been approved under some restrictions in clinical trial mode, is our indigenous Bharat Biotech vaccine, which is the Covaxin. Now, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the efficacy data and the safety data. But as a doctor, as a clinician, I would want to sort of put those concerns at rest by saying that we must have faith in our regulators. Regulators work for the best interest of the citizens of the country and to protect the health of everyone. So we should not start questioning about the science behind it, which should be best left to the experts. All I would want to say is that all the vaccines which are approved or released or launched for commercial use are safe. So one should have absolutely zero concerns about the safety of these vaccines. The other issue or concern is regarding the efficacy. Now, one needs to understand what we mean by efficacy and why do we want to vaccinate a person. The reason behind vaccinating a person, most important reason, is to prevent this person from getting a severe infection, which requires hospitalization, and to prevent deaths. All the vaccines in the world so far which are approved for COVID serve these 2 purposes. So they will prevent a person from getting a severe infection, they will prevent a person from going to a hospital, and to a large extent they will reduce the mortality or prevent death. Now, when we say a vaccine has an efficacy of 70% or 80%, what does that mean? That means that still there are 20 to 30% of the people who are given vaccine may still develop a COVID disease, but that COVID disease which they develop will not be a severe disease, number 1. Number 2, the other aim is to generate large-scale immunity in the population so that the virus transmission reduces. This objective will also be met ultimately in any vaccine which is more than 50% efficacious. So I think let's not in these unprecedented times wait for continue this debate about the efficacy or no efficacy. A lot of us in times like these, many times the drug regulators approve a vaccine even when the full results of phase 3 studies have not been disclosed publicly. So I think we should just stop this discussion of safety efficacy. These vaccines are safe, these vaccines are effective. Many of these are old technologies, some are new technologies like mRNA vaccines we know of. They have been used in lots of subjects across the world with very, very safe effects. As far as the side effects of any vaccine would have minor side effects. These include low-grade fever, sometimes headache, and pain at the site of injection. And these side effects are very minor and generally last for about 24 hours and can be taken care by simple tablet of paracetamol. And in fact, that's a positive thing because that indicates, yes, your body has positively responded or reacted to the vaccine. Serious side effects are very, very rare and at the same level as would be expected with any other vaccination which is given to either children or adults. So I don't think that one needs to worry about the side effects of vaccines. What we have to weigh and compare is what if a person does not take vaccine and gets the disease, which could sometimes turn very serious. So I think clearly the benefits are far more than any expected side effects.
Do we know how long the vaccine will be effective for? Will a person need to keep getting the vaccine repeatedly, or will it become an annual vaccine shot like the flu vaccine?
So as yet we don't have an exact answer to this question. It's only with time we'll come to know how long the antibodies persist or the immunity persists after a shot of COVID. So there is a likelihood that we may need repeated injections, whether those become annual injections like a flu virus, but that will take at least another 6 to 12 months for that answer to be delivered. And by that time, anyway, maybe even more efficacious and effective vaccines come in, which may provide a more longer duration of protection.
So most COVID vaccines require 2 shots. What if I'm able to get 1 shot only? Would that be effective, and for how long?
See, ideally, one requires to take 2 vaccines. The first triggers the immune response, and the second vaccine acts as a booster. And it's only 2 weeks after the second dose that your immunity really or protection against COVID really kicks in. Now, if somehow person can only take the first shot and has not been able to access the second shot, it will give you some level of protection, but one really doesn't know whether that protection will be enough to prevent a COVID attack coming in. And secondly, also one really doesn't know how long that protection will last. Definitely it will be shorter duration. So ideally it is recommended that one does take 2 shots, but at least 1 shot would give you some degree of protection. Nobody presently has an idea about what that percentage would be.
What are the chances of being a SARS-CoV-2 carrier after getting the vaccine? i.e., can I spread COVID even after I get the vaccine?
So, vaccine administration cannot give COVID infection to a person because so far the vaccines which are released, either the mRNA vaccines or the viral vector non-replicating vaccines like Covishield or the inactivated vaccine like Covaxin, they can't get a person to develop COVID. But the second part of the question is, if a person has had the vaccination and he unfortunately still gets a COVID, can he transmit the infection? So the answer to that is there is a very small likelihood that a person can get the COVID virus from exposure. But in that case, the probability is that he will not get the COVID disease because he's vaccinated. But there is a potential risk that this person can still transmit the virus to another person. So to prevent that from happening, we would always say that even after you've taken the vaccination, you should still continue to wear a mask or use hand hygiene and social distancing.
Got it. Thank you, sir. So you've answered my next question, which was, do we need to follow social distancing rules? Do we need to wear masks, and do we need to follow hand hygiene as before, even after getting a vaccine?
Precautions and COVID safety behavior has to continue for long term, even after an individual has taken the vaccination. And this behavior will have to continue till the herd immunity in the country sets in. And herd immunity would set in if after at least 70% of the population of the country has either had a vaccination or the disease.
Do we know if these vaccines will be effective against mutations? We've heard that there is a new mutation of the coronavirus that's spreading.
It is still very early days to give a precise answer, but what I'll do is tell you the scientific facts, what we know as of date. So it is being said that the UK strain or the mutation which has happened in UK, the Pfizer vaccines and the Moderna vaccine are probably still effective, whereas the reports coming from the South African strain are putting a question mark on the effectiveness of the same vaccines in preventing the infection arising from the South African strain. But this is now becoming increasingly a genuine concern whether the effectiveness of vaccines against these mutations and future mutations would be the same, or these vaccines will become less effective. Pfizer has said that the mRNA vaccines are very easy to remodel or restructure or change them and come out with a new version, and they may take about 6 weeks or so to come with a new modified version if needed. So we still need time to see in the real world environment that people who have been given these vaccines, how many of them are getting infection with the new mutant virus. Then only we can give that answer. But one good note is that our Indian vaccine, which is the Covaxin, is a whole virus inactivated vaccine, and it actually may work the best against the prevalent mutations or the present mutations, because it represents the antigens or the proteins of the entire virus. And even if some of the areas of that virus get mutated, the rest of the areas will give adequate protection in that vaccine which is made out of it. So that's some good news coming out from our indigenous vaccine.
So do we know this for a fact, or that's a well-educated scientific guess?
Absolutely, this is a well-educated scientific guess or an explanation given on basis of pure science. And it may completely be contrary to what I just said after we see the real world experience, which can one will able to answer only in coming few weeks after we actually see what's happening on the ground. Again, in terms of people who have had vaccine, how many of them are getting the infection with the new strain in US, in UK, in Europe, or rest of the world. So that data once come in will really be able to then address this question.
Great. Thank you so much for that, sir. So those are all the questions we had for you. I hope our viewers got all the answers that they were looking for regarding the COVID vaccines. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Budhiraja. We hope to see you again in a future episode of My Upchar.
Sure.
Thank you so much.